Battlefield 5 seems to be heading back to the war in Europe, but maybe not where you would expect it to go. Today we're going to look at what Chapter 7 may hold, as well as the future beyond this, including new fronts and factions. Before we start, remember that if you enjoy the video, then leave a nice, juicy like, and if you really feel refreshed by the end, then subscribe for more content like this. Even though Chapter 6 has only just started for Battlefield 5, there has been a lot of data mining and leaks suggesting a return to the war in Europe. Fellow YouTuber Flagfire pointed out that the BF5 art book contains many images suggesting Italy as a setting, Monte Cassino being the most iconic one. This finally confirms an important mechanic that the community has actually been asking for a long time, and that would be a team switch mechanic, as this really befits the coming of Italy. On a more serious note though, this could mean that instead of the beach landings in Normandy, we will be seeing the beach landings in Sicily and the push from the south by Generals Patton, Bradley, and Montgomery. Hopefully we can get a commander mode as well, where we take over as Patton and can slap the campers and garbage medics on our team for being absolute cowards. Google it, it happened twice. We know that DICE has many assets for a Mediterranean setting, with the Tirolor war story taking place in southern France, and the two multiplayer maps Mercury and Merida being set in Greece. This means that assets for a variety of different looking settings in Italy could be used in Chapter 7. There are also Italian cosmetics for the Axis forces and files, which while it could just be because the Italians fought in Greece, it could also be a sign that DICE is holding back for a possible war in Italy. None of this is confirmed, but could make sense and be a really awesome setting to visit. Chapters 8 and 9 are purely up to speculation. Many believe it may be BF5 heading to the Eastern Front with Operation Barbarossa and the entrance of the Russians into the game. Honestly, for me, the game has already visited Russia, as patch 5.2 drove me to the vodka bottle. Ooh, that is refreshing. For many players, this is their favorite front of the war, and it features many iconic settings that could provide some very cool maps and a variety of gameplay styles, ranging from the wide open plains rolling with tanks at Kursk to the tight urban combat in Stalingrad. Granted, we did see Stalingrad in Battlefield 1 under its old name Tsaritsyn, but a World War II version of the map should be very different and hopefully not be a 3-objective grind. Stalingrad was one of the bloodiest battles ever, and if we go to the Eastern Front, it is a must-see location. There are also settings like St. Petersburg and Moscow that could also make for some awesome maps. I think the outskirts of Moscow could make for a fantastic map if built in a way that is similar to Arras, allowing for vehicles around the outskirts, but also tight infantry combat around the center. This map I think would be designed with Breakthrough in mind, as the fields outside Moscow are where Operation Barbarossa was halted for good. A proper urban combat map hasn't been seen in BF5 since Devastation at the launch of the game, and while Rotterdam is also an urban map, I think Devastation captures the aura of what Stalingrad may look like. Hopefully they take inspiration from Amiens in BF1 for designing a possible Stalingrad map, as that was by far a fan favorite in the series. Now for an open map like Kursk, I wouldn't mind it being similar to Galicia. Some players are not fans of Galicia, but I personally really enjoyed the map. Same with Panzerstorm in BF5. I'm just that one infantry player in 1,000 that just likes playing on those open, more vehicle-focused maps. I don't know why, I just am. I think the contrasting styles of maps though would really please a variety of players and make for a lot of very fun moments for combined arms play. But balancing for the vehicles and infantry does need to be better, particularly with aircraft by the time these chapters roll out. I think a good way to release chapters 8 and 9 may be to have Barbarossa be 8, with maps like Moscow and Stalingrad, and chapter 9 be the Russian pushback into Germany with possible settings like Kursk and Berlin. Speaking of Berlin, if the last chapter of this game doesn't give us war-torn Berlin, I may just pop my top, because apparently that was something quite popular at that time. But in this way of releases, there can be a consistent theme of iconic locales on the Eastern Front that also arrive in a semi-chronological way. Now another possibility could be that Chapter 7 features D-Day and the liberation of France, and Chapter 8 being the invasion of Italy. This could push the Eastern Front back to Chapters 9 and 10 and be a good way to wrap up Battlefield 5's lifecycle before giving way to Battlefield 6 in the fall of 2021. Obviously, we don't know how many chapters we will get. Maybe we will see a Chapter 11, but anything more than that may be a stretch. Hopefully BF5 finishes on a higher note than it began with, starting with Update 6.2. Let's hope that the future of the game has a much smoother road than the one we have been on. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you feel nice and refreshed, and as always, I will see you in the next video.